Planet Navarre, non-allied space, industrial shipping city of Cleark, Bar. The captain of the local law enforcement squad scratched his head as he looked at the destroyed office. A young Quigert spoke.
She isn't here, but the people in the bar say she didn't come out.
A second Quigert spoke up next.
She said she would be here.
Your uncle isn't the best citizen in the city.
Save me the lecture, Captain D221. I'm aware Aunt Germam isn't the most law-abiding Quigert, but to me, she was a good person. She said she would be here and wanted to talk to me, so she would have been here.
The officer looked around to see if anything else made sense to him. He knew Seven Leath had come into the building to speak with Germam, but what he didn't have was any understanding of what had happened to the boss of this establishment. He hoped the few patrons outside who were being questioned had some clues. He had just turned to the side when the smaller Quigert next to him started to shiver. Captain D221 turned when the officer he had placed outside the room started walking in backward.
Greth, what are you doing? I told you to stay outside.
Greth had his hands up and started to turn sideways, and the captain saw the black-cloaked alien who had a weapon stuck in Greth's face. A Shrillexian like Greth should have taken the drawn pistol as permission to kick this alien's ass.
Who are you?
The alien ignored the captain for a moment and spoke to his Shrillexian officer.
Do I have your undivided attention? Or do I have to knock the shit out of you before you'll listen?
Greth's eyes focused on the barrel of the Gene Duke Special between his eyes. He had always wanted to see one of the fabled weapons, but up close and in between his eyes was not how he had wished his first in-person demonstration to occur.
I bow to your skill, witch. Do you promise you are here to help and not kill?
I told you that already. So long as my quarry is not here, or I'm not impeded if they are, I will leave peacefully.
She looked around the room. A blink of the eyes and the pistol was gone. Both of her hands were now hidden in the folds of her cloak, but the captain had already noticed the armored fist holding the pistol. Now it was his turn to stare at the black face framed in white hair, hidden under the cowl of the robe. Her glowing red eyes looked him up and down.
You are part android.
She walked up to him and reached for his face, and D221 slapped upwards to knock her hand away, only to look down in surprise when her other hand caught it and held it tight.
Don't be stupid. I'm not here to hurt you. I just seek knowledge.
What knowledge are you going to get?
The tips of her fingers touched his forehead, interrupting his retort.
I didn't know you could connect to androids.
I didn't know I couldn't.
Tom helped her navigate the connection between the organic brain and the android connections.
Nice piece of work here.
They slipped into the brain. Adam picked up the connection and started his own efforts. Captain D221 was part android. His organic body had been partially destroyed some years back in a manufacturing plant explosion when he had been working the second shift undercover to figure out who might be stealing from the company. When he woke up several weeks later, his body had been grafted with the implants, including an upgraded computational cortex right behind his forehead.
I am here.
As am I. We will only review that which is pertinent to this investigation, Captain.
Captain D221 was barely into his first bit of shock when his memories ran in front of his eyes as if he were watching a video.
Seven Leath.
Then everything he had looked at in this room and outside the bar flashed through his mind.
Damn. Those were here and I missed them.
Captain D221 put a hand to his forehead.
What have you done?
The hooded figure knelt to look the female Quigert in her 3 eyes.
I'm sorry to tell you, your aunt is dead.
The captain started to place a hand on the witch's shoulder.
Don't!
He pulled back in surprise.
Why do you say that?
They took her.
Those 7 Kurtherians held the Leath people under their sway for decades. They stole bodies to keep themselves going.